My chosen one, hear me now. My chosen one, we must speak, now. This is urgent, sacred. It concerns your soul. I am your Father, not distant, not silent, but the one who fashioned you in holy love and etched a divine assignment within your very being. Yet the adversary, he studies your wounds. He waits in shadows for the cracks where doubt seeps through your spirit, and slowly, subtly, you have drifted into terrain not crafted for your dwelling. I have watched, even as your heart echoed with chaos. I whispered through your aching silence, through dreams, unrest, even your tears. My voice has moved beside you in every season, not to condemn, but to call you back to awakening. You are not a mistake. Not 1 second of your life has escaped my gaze. Every fear that stilled you, every word that pierced you, every failure you buried, I witnessed it. And still, I remain near. I hovered close, waiting for your soul to remember me. Beloved, you have wandered long enough, through valleys of compromise, shame, and soul weariness. You've allowed voices not born from my throne to sculpt your identity. But I say, enough. This is not your name. This is not your dwelling place. I am the one who wove you in sacred mystery. In your mother's womb, chose the cadence of your voice, the rhythm of your soul, the light in your gaze. You are neither too much nor not enough. Every gift, every holy ache for more, it was I who planted it. You were forged to be a bearer of light, a breaker of darkness, not merely for yourself, but for those still waiting in the shadows, for your path to cross theirs. You are part of a divine design, etched before the earth took form. When you rise in truth, generations shift. Your yes echoes through destinies beyond your knowing. But you must choose. There is a quiet war, subtle, seductive. It wears the face of distraction, of relationships that pull, habits that numb, compromises that slowly blind. The enemy is cunning, not always with a roar, but a whisper that sounds like your own voice. He wants you to believe. You are forgotten. You are failing. That I am far, but I am not. I am closer than your own breath. I have never left. I wept with you in the silence. I held you when you felt hollow. I sat with you in the ache. I stayed, not because you're flawless, but because you're mine. Now, there is a divine turning point before you, a sacred invitation. This is not merely about behavior. This is a return to the center of who you are, a reawakening of the original song I sang over you before your lungs tasted breath. Come back to me, not out of fear, but from remembrance. Remember who you are. Remember what I whispered in the quiet. Remember the dreams I sealed in your soul before the world told you to settle. You were not made to survive. You were designed to shift atmospheres, to build heaven on earth. Through the way you love, the way you create, the way you endure. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not the lies you've agreed with. I can restore all things, but I will not override your will. I can open doors, but only you can walk through. And I call you now, not later, not tomorrow, now, not because I am impatient, but because I see what's ahead. The traps, the lies being spun around your identity, the schemes against your joy. Unplug from the noise, the distractions, the counterfeit comforts that mimic peace, but dull your spirit. Come away with me, fully, entirely, without reservation. I will astound you. I will show you who you really are. You think you have nothing, but I have already equipped you. What you call ordinary, I have anointed. What you overlook, I will use to ignite transformation. But I need your real yes, not the one born from guilt or fear. The yes born from trust, from surrender, from love. Give me the heart you try to hide, the messy one, the weary one, the one aching for more, but unsure how to find it. I will trade it for peace, for clarity, for strategy divine enough to move you out of survival into sacred overflow. You have not missed your moment. You have not gone too far. You have not been disqualified. I can redeem every detour. But it begins with revelation. You must begin to see through my eyes again. Listen closely. I am not only the God of tomorrow. I am the God who understands your past. With perfect vision, I speak not to condemn, but to awaken, to stop you from repeating the paths that led others to ruin, confusion, and despair. History lives not just in books, but in bloodlines, in souls, in the cries of prophets ignored, and the silence of those who watched destruction when they could have turned the tide. Do not be like Cain, who chose routine over reverence and allowed offense to become his identity. Do not be like Lot's wife, who looked back with her soul and turned into a monument of regret. Do not be like Saul, who feared the people more than his maker and lost everything to half obedience. You were made for more. You were born to carry my glory in a way that shakes darkness to its core. That weight, yes, it is great, but you do not carry it alone. My strength lives within you. There is still more, so much more. But first, you must return. Holy, truly. Now, he appeared righteous, but his devotion was divided. He lifted hands in worship, hands that had disobeyed. I could not place my blessing where surrender was withheld. He forfeited everything, not because I was far, but because he never fully yielded. Do not mirror Saul, who craved applause more than presence. Now consider David, my beloved, my anointed, a man after my heart. Yet even he fell. His downfall didn't begin with sin, it began with stillness. While he should have stood on the battlefield, he lingered in idleness. A single glance turned to desire, then deceit, then bloodshed. It wasn't a moment, it was a sequence. But David broke. He wept. He came clean, and I forgave him. Yet forgiveness didn't erase the scars. Learn not just from David's failure, learn from his return. You are not too strong to stumble. Stay awake. Stay surrendered. Look at my people wandering the wilderness. I delivered them from Egypt with signs and wonders. I split seas, sent bread from heaven, drew water from stone. But still they grumbled, doubted, rebelled. They preferred slavery's comfort over freedom's trust. Chains off, but hearts still captive. My presence led them, but they kept me outside their hearts. What should have taken days took 40 years because of disbelief. Don't carry yesterday's mindset into tomorrow's promise. And Judas, he walked with me, heard me, dined with me. But greed dimmed his vision. Disappointment became his god. He expected a throne of gold, not a cross of love. When I didn't meet his idea of Messiah, he sold me. I would have forgiven him, but he couldn't forgive himself. Don't be like Judas. Don't let broken expectations break your connection. When you fail, run to me. I am mercy. And Ananias and Sapphira, they didn't just lie to people, they lied to my spirit. They staged generosity while keeping back truth. What they lost wasn't just reputation, it was breath. I'm not swayed by performance. I seek hearts that are true, not tongues that sound spiritual. Not masks, not rehearsed righteousness. Integrity matters. Wholeness matters. There are many more. Like Samson, anointed with supernatural strength, but he gambled with grace. He made his calling a game. Each compromise chipped away at the sacred. My presence didn't leave him suddenly. It slipped away with each blurred boundary. But even in his final breath, he cried out, and I heard him. Let that be both caution and comfort. You can fall, but you can return. Child, these aren't just stories. They're roadmaps, echoes of decisions made by hearts like yours. They weren't wicked from the start, just weary, distracted, enticed. You must see these warnings for what they are. Love, not shame. A wake-up call, not a rebuke. I see where your current steps lead. I see the drift in your thoughts, the company you keep, the things you let speak to you. I see how the enemy gently nudges you from my covering, so he can strike with no resistance. But I won't stay silent. Come back to the altar, not one made of stone, but the altar of your heart. Tear down what has taken my place. comparison, control, fear, lust, ego. These idols can't save you. They only drain you. They distract, then destroy. The unsafe place isn't always a physical location. It's the state of a soul misaligned from me. And you feel it. The silence that screams. The pleasures that no longer satisfy. That's not punishment. It's mercy. It's me, creating a hunger for what truly satisfies. Many have walked away from their callings thinking they had time. Some silenced conviction for comfort. Others traded destiny for distraction. I sent dreams. I sent people. I sent pauses. Still, they hardened their hearts. Don't be them. I am still speaking, because it's not too late. You haven't drifted too far. The very fact that you hear this is proof that grace still surrounds you. But grace isn't permission to delay. It's the invitation to return now. Look at the prodigal son. He had everything under his father's roof. Still, he chased the world. He left with gold, came back in rags. Fed pigs when he was born to feast. But when he remembered who he was, and whose he was, I ran to him. That's who I am. I don't wait with crossed arms. I run, arms wide. But hear this. I don't want you to return only when you're broken. I want you to stay because you've fallen in love with me. I want your loyalty before your desperation. Your heart before it breaks. Modern-day prodigals are everywhere. Some sit in pews. Some carry titles. Some say my name, but don't know me. They perform, but don't worship. They post, but don't pray. They shout, but don't surrender. I don't shame them. I call them, just like I'm calling you. Let go of the pretense. Religion is not relationship. Performance is not pursuit. Every warning I've ever whispered came from love. Every consequence allowed was mercy in disguise. I shake what numbs you, so you remember you were made for more. The unsafe place is any place outside of my will, even if it feels secure. And the safest place? At the center of my purpose, even if it means walking on water. Faith isn't storm-free. It's storm-proof because I'm in the boat. Don't wait for pain to wake you. Let love lead you now. I'm not asking you to be flawless. I'm asking you to be honest. Honest about your weaknesses. Honest about your pain. Honest about what you long for. I can work with honesty, but I can't bless a facade. I am still the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not because they were perfect, but because they said yes. I'm still the God of Ruth, who left what was known for what was divine. Of Esther, who gave up safety to rescue a generation. Of Peter, who denied me, but came back to feed my sheep. Of Paul, once my enemy, later my echo. And I can be your God too, but not in the unsafe place. Not with the heart divided. Not when you're clinging to shadows. Not when you believe you still have time to delay obedience. The time is now. The moment is holy. My hand is reaching. Will you take it?